Hi everyone and welcome back to next Diecast. For today's video I'll be showing you and reviewing this 1/20th scale Lamborghini Urus made by Bburago. That's right, I said 1/20th scale. Apparently Bburago thought 1/18th would be too big for this model to fit in their box, so they scaled it down to 1/20th scale. This is an okay model at best, I would say, overall. It came out when the real Lamborghini Urus was released back in the fall of 2018. And its detailing, I would say, is pretty questionable for the $40+ price tag it goes for. But this is actually found in wholesale clubs like Sam's Club and Costco and BJ's. This actually came from Sam's Club, and it was a Christmas gift actually for 2018. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys throughout the video the different details that are kind of, not really up to par with other models, and just give you an overview of the model throughout. Let's go ahead and get into the details here of this model. We'll start up here with the front, with the lights. Bburago did a fairly good job with these headlights here. There's actually no pegs to be seen. The lenses are actually a nice thickness too. The LED pattern actually looks nice too, especially from a distance. Kind of looks like they're turned on, which is a cool effect, I would say. Gaps aren't that bad. You can see them though. There's actually a dark gray version of this model that you can get it in. Those gaps are much less noticeable just because it's a darker color, but on here you can kind of see the gaps pretty prominently. The grills you can see here, they look pretty good. These are actually plastic, but the paint matches with the plastic and the metal together, which is nice to see. Sometimes on models you'll see the plastic and metal, and they don't really mix that well. There's these bracket-shaped grills here. The textured mesh, as I said, it's just textured. It's not perforated or anything. So it does look a bit cheap, especially up close. So from a distance, it's kind of hard to tell that it's not actual mesh. This Lamborghini badge here looks, I would say, very good overall. It's embossed on there. It's not a separate piece or a three-dimensional piece or anything like that. It still looks good. There's an Urus license plate down there. Moving along to the side, we'll take a look at the wheels here. Bburago, I would say, did a pretty good job with these wheels. They have that nice kind of flower petal pattern on them. The disc brake does move through the calipers, which say Lamborghini on them. I really like the calipers, how they kind of match the paint color of the model. This is actually matte black along here. I think it should be kind of separate plastic, but they just painted on the matte black. It looks nice at least. As long as it's not like a glossy black, which it's not. It's a matte black, so it looks pretty convincing from a distance especially too. And the mirrors are nice and sturdy. Very sturdy, I might add. They're actually plastic, but they still look pretty good, especially from a distance too. The door handles are just kind of molded on there as metal. They don't really look that great, especially even up close too, and from a distance. I wish Bburago kind of went with separate plastic pieces for those, but they didn't, which is rather unfortunate. This rocker panel down here looks good. I like the silver striping along there too. Moving along to the rear of the model, you'll notice there's a Lamborghini badge back here. That is a three-dimensional badge, and I think it looks great. It looks like it's a separate piece. It's actually molded into this plastic strip back here, but it looks like a separate piece, so I'd say that looks great. Taillights look fairly well done. They're separate plastic pieces, as you can tell, and there's no pegs in them. I think there should be some kind of turn signal painted on in there, but they just did it with the red taillights. Rear bumper is done in plastic, and the tailpipes look fairly well done. They aren't chrome, they're actually painted silver, which is nice. They don't look as cheap as the chrome versions. They're hollowed out too, which is also a nice touch, I would say. These are like lowered turn signals down here too. These intakes are just painted on. They aren't actual intakes, which they kind of did some better detailing with that. You can't really ask for much though. No suspension on this model, and the steering is not that great. It definitely works, but the wheels just don't stay in place. That's a recent kind of Bburago flaw on a lot of their models. I don't know why they don't have actual good steering, but it's annoying, I would say. I wish they did a better job with that. In terms of opening features, we'll take a look back here at the rear trunk first. Not much to see in there. It's not carpeted or anything like that. Just have this nice kind of privacy screen back here. It does go all the way back. You can see my fingers fit all the way back in there. So if you have a kid who plays with your cars, they can fit a lot of stuff in there, like Legos and whatnot. There is a liner right here. It's like a plastic liner. Nice touch, I would say. This probably won't stay open for that long, so I don't I don't open it that much because I want to keep the effect of it staying open in place. Engine detailing, not really that much to see at all. It's just kind of one flat plastic piece. The real engine really doesn't have that much to see in it anyway. At least for the Lamborghini inscriptions on the sides, they have it as like a separate, not as a separate piece, but it's like three-dimensional. So that looks good at least. But I wish they maybe did some more coloring in at least on there, especially for the $45 price range too. Underneath the hood, it is actually fully painted, which is nice. There's no underspray. The back doors, unfortunately, don't open, and there's no side windows on the front windows. I wish they either went with side windows for the front doors and keep them opening, or no side windows back here and had all four of the doors opening. Kind of disappointing. You can tell that they kind of were in a hurry to get this out on the diecast market, so they've skimped on a few details like that. But again, if you find it for a relatively cheap price, and if you want a Lamborghini Urus in your collection, I'd say it's an okay deal. Front doors open, as you can see here. We'll take a look at the interior. Door panel detailing, I would say, is generous. There's a nice kind of leather pattern on them, and the door handles look like they're three-dimensional, and also the silver speakers down there too. So that looks pretty good overall. The dashboard and center console, I would say they're well done. They have all the buttons in place, and they have the GPS screen turned on. The center buttons between the two screens aren't painted, but they are there at least. Wish they maybe detail them a little bit more. But at least they're there. You can tell that they're like separate pieces and all that. The shifters look good too. They have some nice paint detailing on them. Dashboard has that nice kind of carbon fiber pattern going down the center there. So that's also a nice touch. Kind of hard to see with this dark interior. Steering wheel looks pretty good too. It has a Lamborghini badge in the center, and it has, I'd say, a pretty nice shape to it as well. There's like a silver portion down there too. There are pedals. It's just so hard to see with this lighting and the all black interior, and they're separate pieces, so they look pretty good. Wish they were done in silver. You'd actually be able to see them a lot better, and they would look really cool, especially with this type of car. The seats themselves, I'd say Bburago did a good job with. They have a nice texture to them. And even the back seat too, it has some nice detail. There's a Lamborghini logo on the headrest of each seat. They're kind of hard to see unless you're in like direct light, but at least they put them there. And it is really hard to see any detailing with all black interiors. But what Bburago did, I'd say they did an okay job with it. If they had painted the actual logos, that would have probably added to the effect. I think that's how they should be, but again, for cost cutting, they didn't do that. There are seatbelts though, which are nice to see. And the seats have a nice shape to them. They look just like the real seats on the real car. So it does have that going for it. Undercarriage, not really anything to see at all. There's Lamborghini Urus, and there's that scale 120 right there. There's some detailing back here with the exhaust, but really not that much. Overall, you can kind of tell that Bburago was in a hurry to get an Urus out on the market for the diecast community. And they got it out pretty quickly. But the detailing, I would say, was kind of sacrificed in some areas. But if you can find this at a wholesale club for the $15 price range, I would say get it. It looks good with other Lamborghinis, despite its unusual scale of 1/20th. It looks good next to like the Lamborghini Aventador that Bburago made, or the Lamborghini Huracan. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. As always, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and follow my Instagram page, Nick's Diecast page. Thanks for watching.